The film opens on a wild night. Tommy, a reckless partygoer, meets his girlfriend Gabby and their friends. Turned away from a nightclub, Tommy picks a fight with the security guard. The group moves to another venue where the night dissolves into heavy drinking and drugs. Everyone indulges except Gabby, who seems wild enough without them. The chaos spills onto the streets. At a bus stop, Tommy takes more drugs before stumbling home, clinging to walls and collapsing on the pavement. Headlights suddenly cut through the darkness as a shadowy figure approaches. The story shifts to Chris, a calm but unsettling man, conducting a job interview with young Rena in a quiet cafe. His questions are strangely specific. He asks if she has any distinctive marks that could make her easily identifiable. Satisfied, he has her sign several documents. Rena arrives at Chris's secluded countryside mansion, relieved that the place looks far more normal than she feared. Chris scans her with a metal detector, takes her phone for the duration of her employment, and reminds her of the NDA. Nothing that happens in this house can ever leave it. At that moment, his wife Catherine enters distant, silent, and cold. She barely acknowledges Rena. Chris gives Rena a tour of the pristine house, ending in the nursery of their young son Jonathan. The tour takes a dark turn when they reach the basement. There, chained up, sits Tommy. Shocked, Rena wants to leave immediately, but Chris calmly persuades her to stay. He reveals she risks deportation and that he has the connections to protect her. He dismisses Tommy as a troubled teenager undergoing treatment. Reluctantly, Rena agrees. Chris hands her a taser and pepper spray in case Tommy gets aggressive, and she begins her duties as housekeeper. Later, while doing laundry in the basement, Tommy rudely calls out for help, but Rena ignores him. That evening, as the family prepares dinner, Chris heads down to the basement to feed the captive. He tells the young man that he too was once called Tommy, but that was long ago. The prisoner angrily throws the food away and threatens divine punishment once he's free. When Tommy lunges at him, Chris knocks him out with the taser. After dinner, Chris returns to the basement and plays a video Tommy had posted online, him and his friends joyriding in a stolen car before crashing. Chris calmly lists all the laws they broke, then shows another clip of himself and his son earnestly warning that drunk driving is dangerous because others could suffer too. That night, Tommy tries to rip the chain from the wall, but falls, hits a nightstand, and wets himself. In the morning, Chris suggests Catherine visit the captive to check if he ate and to get acquainted. Tommy throws his urine-soaked pants in her face. He then tries to strangle Chris, but Chris easily slips free using an old trick from a gypsy friend. Chris runs a bath for his wife, then heads downstairs with a suitcase. On the way, young Jonathan asks if he can read comic books that belong to someone named Charlie. Chris allows it, but only if his mother doesn't find out. In the basement, Tommy mouths off again. Chris demands an apology. When Tommy refuses, Chris beats him with a baton. Upstairs, Jonathan casually asks when they can watch a movie with the captive. Later, when Rena comes down, Tommy is rude to her and makes her cry. Chris arrives and suggests Tommy apologize. Remembering the lessons, Tommy mutters that it won't happen again. Chris brings Tommy upstairs to the living room, installs a new ceiling mount for the chain, and lets him sit on the couch to watch a movie. Jonathan picks Charlie's favorite film. Drawn by the noise, Catherine joins them. Later in bed, Catherine admits the film unsettled her because it reminded her of Charlie. It becomes clear that Charlie was their eldest son, now dead. Meanwhile, Tommy, now cast as his replacement, tries to tear free in the basement while a tape recorder lectures him about the dangers of drugs. Realizing he's not escaping soon, Tommy decides to play by the rules. During the day, he apologizes to Catherine for throwing his pants at her. In return, she brings him a pair of glasses, having noticed his poor eyesight. Later, they watch another video together, this time Tommy and his friends beating someone up. The captive claims people will start looking for him if he misses his probation officer, but Chris knows it's a lie. He has already checked Tommy's background and is surprised the young man has never been arrested, despite his wild lifestyle. Chris extends the chain so Tommy can reach the toilet instead of a bucket. Catherine brings him fresh clothes and a book. Tommy scoffs that nobody reads anymore in the modern world. The conversation is interrupted by the doorbell. Catherine answers it while Chris stands guard with the taser. It's only a courier delivering a package. Jonathan had innocently opened the gate. His mother gently reminds him never to do that again. Later, Chris works on a prototype rail system for the chain. Catherine interrupts him. She found cigarettes in their son's things. Chris talks to Jonathan, who admits he smoked one but promises it won't happen again. The parents believe him, yet Catherine insists he still needs a lesson. Their solution is unusual. They make him smoke several cigarettes in a row. During Rena's next visit, Tommy apologizes again. She offers him chewing gum. As she leaves, he tries to grab her tool belt, but Chris appears and stops him. Tommy begs to be released, swearing he won't tell anyone. The family stages another video session showing Tommy stealing a phone from a kid. The prisoner sees the bitter irony on screen. He was the predator. Now he is the helpless victim. Noticing Tommy's improving behavior, Catherine suggests to Chris that they might ease up on him. On Tommy's birthday, the family brings him a cake and promises a surprise. First, they chloroform him. Otherwise, there won't be any surprise. Tommy wakes up outdoors, lying on the green grass. The family has set up a picnic for him. The chain's still threaded through stakes in the ground. Chris grills meat, while Catherine chats with Tommy about the book, and Jonathan plays tennis with him. When it's time to go back inside, they chloroform him again. He comes to in a new room on the second floor. Chris explains it's a reward for good behavior. The catch is a bell attached to his collar so they always know where he is. Thanks to a clever rail system Chris installed, Tommy can now move around the house. Chris plans to extend it to the first floor soon. Transitions between rails are locked with codes. Delighted with his new freedom, Tommy swings along the chain like a vine. Later, while playing with Jonathan in the room, Tommy asks about the previous occupant, but the boy refuses to answer and quickly leaves. While Rena cleans, Tommy begs her to unlock the code so he can go downstairs. She says she doesn't know it. As Chris measures the chain for more comfort, Tommy asks about his marriage and suggests a romantic gesture might help. The family learns someone has been following Rena. Seeing she's scared, they offer to let her stay in the house. The basement is empty now and there's plenty of room. The next day, at Chris's signal, Tommy asks Catherine upstairs to discuss another book. It's a distraction while the others prepare a surprise in the yard, a candle-lit romantic dinner. While Catherine and Chris dance, Tommy quietly asks Rena for something sharp to open the lock. She refuses but leaves a desk drawer open so he can reach a fork, which he hides in a plant pot. That evening, Chris thanks Tommy for helping with the surprise. Tommy asks why he was chosen and what happened to the previous occupant of the room. Chris simply walks away without answering. The next morning, Chris drives into town for errands. Soon after he leaves, another car pulls up. 3 men force their way into the yard. Catherine and Rena, who are tending the lawn, rush inside, but the intruders follow. Rena admits they are her relatives, the ones she ran away from. Later, Rena hugs Tommy and quietly whispers the code to the rail lock. When the intruders attack her, Tommy rushes to defend her, but gets beaten down. When Chris returns and hears what happened, he brings Tommy a beer. He praises his courage, calls him son, and promises to install a modern security system so nothing like this ever happens again. Realizing escape will soon become impossible, Tommy decides to break out that same night. He uses the chewing gum Rena gave him to silence the bell on his collar. Standing on a stack of books, he reaches the first lock, opens it, then descends and unlocks the second. He grabs the hidden fork and starts prying the chain loose. The noise wakes Chris, who comes downstairs with a gun. Tommy attacks, knocks the weapon away, and holds Chris at gunpoint, demanding the door key. Catherine walks down calmly, tells him he doesn't really want to leave, and takes the gun from him. Her words fail to change his mind. 2 months later, back home, Tommy gives a statement to the police. He claims he was never kidnapped, he was just under medication when found, and had simply been staying with a friend named Jonathan, who feels like a brother to him. It turns out his own mother never even reported him missing. It was Gabby who did. Now free, Tommy visits a nightclub and finds Gabby still lost in alcohol and drugs. Watching her, he feels nothing. The next day, he calls her for a favor. After packing his things, he asks for a ride but takes the wheel himself and blindfolds her. He asks if she truly wants to disappear like he did and if she trusts him. When she says yes, Tommy makes her inhale chloroform. He then pours gasoline over the car, sets it on fire to destroy the evidence, and carries away his unconscious friend. At dusk, Tommy stands at the gates of the house that had once held him captive. Over the past 2 months, Its owners had become his real family. He rings the small bell that once hung from his neck. The gates open. Smiling, Tommy walks up the path toward the family, ready to introduce them to his new friend. That's where the film ends.